Welcome to Not a Roofers podcast, where we discuss roofing
without all the jargon. I'm Brianna.
And I'm Charity.
And this is today's episode.
Hello and welcome to Not a Roofers podcast. Today we are talking about weathering.
So, weathering, I'm going to just put this out there. Weathering is a term that is overarching for a lot of the things that we mention in relation to maintenance and just general upkeep of roofs, which is why we thought it'd be important to talk about it. So, the definition of weathering. It is a noun and it is the process of wearing or being worn by long exposure to the atmosphere. As like a blanket, that's what it is. So in relation to the roof, what atmospheric exposure, Charity, are we really talking about?
Oh, well, the wind, the sun, snow, ice, air pollution, and then like temperature. What's the word I'm looking
for?
Variation. I was gonna say elevation, and I knew that wasn't right.
No, not elevation. Variation. So yeah, like things that your roof is going to come in contact with literally every single day that it is on your roof. You can't get away from these things. This is a natural process that will happen no matter what. Kind of like in life, you grow older and you have to battle through life's storms. That's so metaphorical. Your roof has to battle through legit storms. So it's going to weather. It's going to grow older and show signs of wear and tear, which we've talked about before. This is not a new concept, really. So,
well, I have that like there's, although the weather and everything I just listed plays a part in weathering, but so do other items like the quality of your roof. If you have poor quality materials versus high quality materials, that will determine how quickly they weather. If you have a good quality shingle on your roof, well, some of this weathering thing, like the wind and the sun, isn't going to affect it as much as a poor quality material.
Yeah. I mean, I am a strong believer in using analogies with everything because I think analogies really can hit home a point. And it's no different than, a lot of things. You have the option of buying a $5 pair of shoes versus a $50 pair of shoes, or you have the option of buying really cheaply made clothes versus higher quality. And depending on where you are in life, you finally get to a point where you're like, okay, wait a second, I buy this $5 pair of shoes and it only lasts me maybe a year longer if you're lucky, where my $50 pair of shoes is lasting longer. Or the $5 clothes, I think about leggings. I have this problem with leggings. I buy cheap leggings because I apparently haven't learned my lesson. And after a year of wearing them, they're falling apart. Where if I were to just spend more money and have a higher quality product, they're going to last me longer. And I know that. And the same thing goes with a roof. And we've said it before. I use the shoe analogy a lot. It's my favorite one to use, actually. It's just so universal.
Yes.
You want to put your money into something that's going to last and is going to weather through whatever it's getting put through. And really, your roof and, shingles and other parts of the outside of your building or house or whatever really gets put through a lot. Think about it, 365 days of every year of getting put through rain or snow or ice or heavy winds or whatever it be. That's a lot to have to put up with. we purposely do not spend our lives outside 24/7 because as humans, we can't handle that. I mean, I step outside in the summer, and if I don't put sunscreen on within 5 minutes of stepping outside, I'm probably sunburned. So,
Oh, the joys of summer. Whereas I love the sun and I'm going to step outside. Would that mean I'm
yeah,
high quality and you're poor quality?
maybe your skin, your melatonin is high quality, and mine is low quality.
And that's on jeans.
But I mean, it's like, let's just think about it for a
But
second.
let's be fair, I do burn eventually. It just takes longer.
Maybe we just stumbled upon the perfect analogy for why you need to take care of your roof. So think of your roof as the skin on your body. And so for me, I have to be very careful about not only how much time I'm spending outside in the natural elements of sunlight and mostly sunlight, um, and I have to put sunscreen on, or in the winter, I have to put a jacket on because frostbite is a real thing. And so your roof is getting put through that. And if you're not taking care of it and you're not using good products on it and um, you're just kind of letting it be, just think about all the problems that will come about. I really like that we stumbled across that analogy.
One more analogy to add to your list. However, so the quality is not the only thing, and the climate is not the only thing, and the weather is not the only thing. Like the where how your roof is sloped. If you have a sloped roof, actually lasts longer than a flat roof
Mm-hmm.
because the slope heads helps shed the water more. And so when it rains, it's not to deter you away from a flat roof. It just that also plays a part in weathering. One of them is going to weather quickly. Also, the orientation. Which way does your roof face? If you have a south facing slope, it's going to weather quickly because it has a higher exposure and a wider range to the temperatures. Like everything plays a part in weathering.
Well, and here's another thing. We Charity mentioned that a slope roof will weather a little bit better than a flat roof because water will sit on it. But um, like if you have good ventilation, that'll help save your flat roof a little bit more because it'll help get the water off your roof. But another thing with flat roofs is there are different colors of material that you can use, and so your roof color plays a part into it because darker colors will soak in more sunlight during the day, and that'll that'll make it weather not as well as a light colored roof, which deflects the light and the heat. And so that also plays a part into it. But beyond this, like if you, again, going back to our analogy of skin and whatnot, if you're not taking care of your roof with maintenance, there's our magical keyword. Um,
The word of the day is
the
maintenance.
maintenance. The word of every day is maintenance. um, but if you have a poor maintenance schedule, not only is your roof taking on all of the natural elements and just things that'll happen to it over time, but you're also not doing anything to combat it. So it's just not going to last as long as it could, as we've talked about so many times. And I really think talking about weathering in this way will hopefully just hit home the point of like, it doesn't matter if your roof is a couple months old or 10 years old, you know, all roofs are subjected to the same natural elements, and like they're gonna get damaged naturally.
Which is what weathering is. It is the natural deterioration of a roof from, well, the weather.
Yeah. But the thing is, and like, I think it's really important that we have a word for it because in our previous episodes, if you've listened, we'll talk about, oh, like the wind or storms or whatever. And now we have a word. So instead of listing off like wind, rain, all of this, we can just say weathering. So we just added a new word to our vocabulary, and our knowledge, and so did you. Good job. You learned your new thing for the day.
So our definition.
Well, first, let's just, before we get to the definition, if we were to pick two things that people should think about in regards to their roof and weathering, I think one would be our favorite word, which is maintenance, maintenance, maintenance. And two, when you are in the process of getting a roof repaired or replacing it or whatever it be, just make sure that you are working with a contractor you trust and you are looking at more than just the price of the materials, because as we said, one of the things with weathering is that the quality of the products matter. So if we teach you anything besides maintenance, it is to always, be looking at the quality over the cost, and also have someone that you trust. I think those are two really good points that we should have. But our definition. So you said something not too long ago, and I wish I would have wrote it down. And it was like weathering is the natural process of deterioration.
The natural deterioration of the roof.
Yes. So we could, I think we can use that. The weathering, the natural deterioration of a roof due to, or maybe just the natural deterioration of a roof, honestly. I don't know. Any thoughts on it?
Nope.
No? Sound good? The natural deterioration of a roof. That's 6 words.
Sometimes the best definitions are the shortest ones.
From a 13-word original definition.
Yeah.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode. We are so glad that you joined us. I know we've said it in a lot of our episodes, but if you have any questions, we would love to hear from you on just anything that you want to learn about roofing or any questions you have. If you have a question that you specifically want to ask a roofing contractor, let us know, because we can definitely bring someone on to answer those for you. Thanks for joining us today. Until next time.
Bye.
That brings us to the end of today's episode. If you've been loving what you're hearing, make sure to press the subscribe button so you get notified anytime we post a new episode. Episodes come out on Monday and Fridays. Please feel free to share this podcast with a friend. We'd love everybody to be able to join us and learn more about the roofing industry as we go along on this journey. If you don't already, follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, and YouTube. I will put all of our information down in the show notes below. Feel free to contact us with any questions or any roofing ideas that you would love for us to talk about. I hope you have a great day, and we will see you next time.